Hi foodies, how you doing? I want to share with you one of my favorite little breakfast dishes. Super simple, cheesy spinach scrambled eggs. Let's get into it. So I have about a handful or so of baby spinach, and what I'm going to do is just rip it apart just to get the pieces a little smaller because I just want them to be, more dispersed throughout the scrambled eggs. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going to tear them apart to make the pieces smaller. That's that, and then I'm just going to whisk these eggs. I have 3 large eggs. If you're from the Caribbean, we like to take out that little stringy thing because we think it, makes the dish have too much of that eggy, undesirable eggy flavor. So I'm taking that out, and then I'm just gonna add a little salt and whisk it. Sometimes I leave the salt out and add it later on. Sometimes I add it to this and then just whisk it properly just to make sure everything is combined. You want to see the white and the yolk thoroughly mixed together. And then what we're going to do now is add some tiny pieces of cold butter. Of course, you know how fat is. It's going to make the egg silky. It's going to make it really nice and fluffy and tender. Really nice. So add some butter to the pan. Then once it melts, we're going to just, wilt the spinach a little bit. You don't have to overcook it, just wilt it a little bit. Now this is gonna wilt in within seconds. So once it's wilted, add the eggs, of course, and allow the eggs to sit in the pan over low to medium heat for about 45 to 55 seconds. Maybe if your pan, is over too high a heat, then it will start to set really fast, so you'll have to move things around. But ideally, you want it to set for a little before you start to stir things around. So of course, move around those areas that are starting to set and just keep stirring gradually until you end up with your beautiful fluffy pieces. While you're doing this, if you feel like it's sticking to your pan, you should be using a non-stick pan ideally. If you feel like it's sticking, just add a little, a few more pieces of butter. It's fine. I love butter in my scrambled eggs. So good. And then just keep stirring. Make sure you move around the parts that are a little bit set so you'll get that nice fluffy egg going on. Now, everyone has their preference as far as doneness when you're doing eggs. So when you are close to your desired doneness, then you're going to add the cheese. Ideally, you can add some grated cheese. I had these slices of cheese and I wanted to use them. So I'm just breaking them up and I'm going to stir them in while they melt. So do this over low heat because you don't want the eggs to overcook, but you want the cheese to melt, right? So just stir everything in and it's just gonna melt into the eggs and the spinach, and it is so delicious, guys. It is so creamy and smooth. So just stir it in, add more cheese if you like. Of course, I definitely recommend using a non-stick pan just to prevent the cheese from burning because sometimes we turn up that heat by mistake and then it starts to stick, and so just be on the safe side. Use a non-stick pan. Once this is melted together, that's it. You can serve it up, guys. You can put some chives or some scallion on top, or parsley if you want to. I just kept it simple. I'm having this with some toast. When I make this, I don't even bother with butter on the bread because it is so creamy and smooth and fluffy. I just put this on the bread and call it a day. Super simple and delicious. Let me know what you think once you try it. See you next time.